Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I'm back with another video. Today's video is going to be about teeth and how you look after your teeth. We only have one set of teeth and we need to look after them. Yesterday I went to my dentist. I was getting some sensitivity, but it was my regular 6-month checkup, and I went to the dentist and he said basically there's no fillings or anything like that, but you're probably experiencing some sensitivity due to maybe I'm brushing too hard, maybe these toothy tabs that I mentioned in my last favourites video, they can be quite abrasive, so if I'm using them every day, then obviously they could be actually damaging my teeth by wearing down the enamel, and once the enamel's gone, it's gone. Enamel basically is what coats the teeth, and I'm just going to demonstrate this and pretend that this is a tooth for a second. So your enamel is obviously just around the tooth, and once that gets worn down, it gets closer and closer to the nerve of the tooth, and that's where you experience more sensitivity. Sensitivity can be from drinking hot drinks, drinking cold drinks, the change between the hot and cold, things like that. Sometimes when it's very, very cold in the atmosphere as well, you can sometimes feel quite a sharp pain if you have that worn down enamel. So when you brush too hard, or you're using abrasive agents like a tooth whitening toothpaste or the toothy tabs that I mentioned, although they were a favourite of mine, I'm kind of reconsidering how much I should use them, because obviously I was using them every day, and that's probably why they were looking so sparkly and white, is because they were probably wearing down my enamel. So I'm going to reduce using them maybe once a month or something like that. I didn't realise that they can be so abrasive. And so yeah, I just wanted to kind of make sure that, you know, it's all well and good, you know, making ourselves look beautiful on the outside with makeup, but it's just as important to actually be healthy on the inside, you know, as well as, you know, our skin, our teeth, our hair, our nails. Those all need to be well looked after for, obviously, for us to be as beautiful as, you know, we can possibly be. Because if you think about it, we only do have one set of teeth. Once we're a lot older and maybe our gums are not as strong, our teeth may fall out, and it's not going to be a very pretty picture if we have hardly any teeth in our mouth. So yeah, I just thought it's a really important subject that I wanted to share with you guys. I care about you guys so much. I want you to know this information, and this is information that I've learned through my 32 years of life. So I wanted to share some wisdom with you guys. So number one, so we only have one set of teeth. We have to look after them. So as children, if you have any kids, if you've got small children, trying to reduce the amount of sugar they eat. Probably best thing to do is introduce a brushing their teeth routine, especially at night time, because obviously if they're used to brushing their teeth, they'll carry that later on in life. So it's really important that we ourselves look after our teeth, as well as looking our children's teeth as well, because obviously they don't know any better. We know a lot better than them. And Sammy, he's like 2 years and 4 months, and he's, you know, we introduced him to brush his teeth. Well, I'm there brushing his teeth really. So it's kind of really, really important for you guys to try and implement that in your children's routine as well, to get them to brush their teeth. So it's always recommended that you should brush twice a day. So that would normally be in the morning and in the evening before you go to bed. In the morning, I would say that the best time to brush your teeth wouldn't be straight away as soon as you get up and wash your face. My best advice to brush your teeth would be to brush your teeth after you've had your breakfast. The reason being is that if you were to brush your teeth in the morning before you've had your breakfast, you're causing your teeth to be a lot more prone to damage, because you're wearing down any protection first, and then you might have tea, you might have orange juice, you might have acidic drinks, and this can actually affect your teeth and have an effect in terms of making them weaker, I would say. So best thing to do would be to have your breakfast and then brush your teeth afterwards. Plus, if you think about it, you went to sleep with your teeth being brushed, so there's not anything really that's going to have built up overnight. The best thing to do would be after you've had breakfast. So try and maintain any time that you do eat something to brush your teeth afterwards. So yeah, and if you have had something to eat and you can't brush your teeth because you're maybe in a restaurant or you're out with friends and you can't just be like, okay, I'm just going to go nip over and brush my teeth, I would recommend you get some chewing gum. I love these Mentos chewing gums. They're sugar-free and they're really good at helping clean my teeth, because it's strange, but when when I have some chewing gum afterwards, I actually feel not only obviously maybe the menthol or spearmint refreshes my mouth, but at the same time it's the chewing action that actually helps to get your saliva going, which helps to break down any kind of food or things stuck in between your teeth. So that's a really good tip. If you can't brush your teeth, then just chew some gum, and these are really good. I love them. Number 3, make sure you floss. Now I floss normally at night time, sometimes in the daytime too. There are 2 types of flosses. There's probably more than one type of floss. There's this thin style of floss, and there is the tape form. And the tape, just show you. The tape looks like this. I prefer the tape because I can really sort of get it in between the teeth. And what you need to do when flossing, you just roll up the floss in either finger and then just use it to get right in between the areas between your teeth. If you do have larger gaps, then I would suggest you use these interdental brushes. So these look like this. They're just small, very, very small brushes. Basically any areas that your toothbrush can't reach. So they look like these. These are by Colgate, and they come in different sizes. This is medium, and these you would wedge in between the gaps in your teeth. Especially, it's very hard to get the toothbrush at the back, so these are ideal to kind of clean out anything that's sitting there. And you especially want to make sure you brush your teeth thoroughly, especially at night, especially if you've had things like meat and stuff, because they could get wedged in between your teeth and it can cause decay and can cause bad breath as well. So that's another important thing to remember. The next thing would be to make sure when you're brushing your teeth, you're brushing your teeth effectively. And what I mean is, this is my son's toothbrush. What I mean is that when you're brushing your teeth, like so, you want to make sure that you're getting into all areas that you can't necessarily reach easily, like behind your teeth, right at the back. Just really get it in with your toothbrush and sort of have that flicking out motion. You want to get rid of any plaque around your mouth, because what happens is that if you don't get rid of any plaque, the minerals in your saliva will calcify the plaque and actually make it turn to tartar. That's how you pronounce it. I was trying to pronounce it as tartar. And the tartar is really difficult. Once it hardens, it's basically like, you know how you get lime scale at the bottom of your kettle sometimes? That's exactly what's happening in your mouth. So that's really difficult to get out. So you need to either make sure that you're brushing your teeth really well and getting into all the areas right at the back of your mouth, and you have to really focus between where your gum and your teeth are. So that area, that's where you should be brushing. You want to get rid of anything, any food, any leftover things. It sounds really disgusting, but make sure you get rid of it. Okay, so make sure you do that so that you get rid of any potential tartar buildup. Make sure you brush gently. The reason being is that obviously when we're brushing our teeth, if it's quite abrasive and if it's quite harsh, remember that enamel is getting worn down. Think of your teeth as crystals. Think of your teeth as diamonds, that they're so precious that you really need to look after them and make sure that you're not overly aggressive with them. Like imagine you had a diamond ring and you had sandpaper and you were wedging that sandpaper back and forth. You're going to potentially damage that diamond or crystal. You don't want to be doing that to your teeth. Plus, if you think about it, your teeth are almost crystal-like, so any kind of switch between hot and cold, so if you're having a hot meal and then you're having a cold drink, that difference between the hot and cold can actually cause your teeth to crack from the outside. And you may notice, I mean, it's quite normal for you to have some cracks in your teeth. So if you try and minimize that, maybe drinking through a straw as well, so any acidic drinks or any fizzy drinks, especially like Coke and Pepsis, which are really bad but taste really good, just make sure that you're drinking those types of drinks through a straw, and just make sure that you're not brushing too hard as well. The next one on my list is, don't use abrasive toothpaste or a toothpaste that can cause abrasive action in terms of whitening toothpaste. Normally that's very, very abrasive. It's got agents in there that actually can be damaging your enamel and wearing it thin and wearing it down. So as I mentioned, those toothy tabs that I liked, I'm going to be using them a lot less. So do be careful if you're using anything like that, because it can wear down your enamel, and which could lead to a lot of sensitivity, as well as potentially, you losing your teeth in, you know, in the long run. What's this? Oh, I wanted to share this with you. This is a natural way to brush your, well, not necessarily brush, but if you wanted to whiten your teeth, this is what's called a miswak. Okay, this you can get usually from Arab countries, and it's like a stick basically. And what you do, you cut one end and you make it look like the end of a brush. So I'm just going to show you. You kind of should use a knife really, but you make it look like a brush, and then you start to almost brush your teeth with it. But it's much less abrasive than using a whitening toothpaste, and it does really, really help in whitening your teeth, as well as it's got some natural components in there that actually help whiten your teeth, and almost like a natural bleaching, but not necessarily a bleaching. So that's very, very good. That's a natural way. The other thing is not to eat too much sugars or too many sugars, because what you're not maybe necessarily realizing, although you may be brushing your teeth day and night, you're not necessarily ridding the sweetness that you eat from your bloodstream. So if you're a very, very sweet tooth person, then obviously you're going to have a lot more of like a sweeter blood type, I would say. So what happens is that your teeth have a root. Each tooth has a root underneath, which is like a nerve basically, and that's why sometimes we get that sensitivity. But what's also happening is your blood supply is obviously supplying that root with blood for nutrition or anything else like that. And what's happening is that the actual root itself is having a blood supply that is very, very sweet, and that sweetness can actually be rotting your teeth from the inside. So as well as looking after your teeth by brushing them, you need to cut down on sugary foods. And sugar, by the way, is addictive as well. I was watching a program the other day, and they were saying how basically a lot of people are addicted to sugar. Some of them don't realize it. My husband didn't realize it, that he was probably addicted to sugar because he would get a craving to eat something sweet. He'd eat it, and then, I don't know, about an hour later or something, he'd get another craving to eat sweet things. So it's kind of important that you realize that it's very, very addictive to be eating sweet things. So maybe less than that as well as for your health generally, for your teeth, but also because you don't want to be addicted to something like sugar. Especially, another thing is, try to cut down on white sugar. White sugar is not naturally white. Sugar itself is basically, white sugar has been refined to make it white. It's basically been bleached. So you're better off having brown sugar. I always buy brown sugar. It's just better, it's more natural. It hasn't been bleached, it hasn't been processed, and it hasn't been refined. You're actually better off having brown sugar, because sweeteners are carcinogenic. They've been found to basically, they can potentially be causing cancers. I can go into a whole host of other stuff in this video, but I won't. Okay, so I guess I've kind of more or less said everything. The other thing is that if you do suffer from sensitivity, I use this Pro-Enamel toothpaste. The Pro-Enamel toothpaste is very, very good if you have sensitive teeth. If you're also having that sensitivity and it's not necessarily going away, my dentist recommended that I can just put a little bit on the area of sensitivity. I can go to sleep, and then in the morning, hopefully the ingredients within the Sensodyne toothpaste has helped to get rid of that sensitivity overnight. So that's the tip that I would recommend if anybody's having sensitive teeth. And I think I've covered everything. Sorry if I've been going on, but I think it's so important to get this information out there. It's not necessarily always readily available. It's not necessarily being taught in schools. But I think it's really important that we look after our teeth. We only have one set of teeth, and if we lose one tooth, it's not like we're going to be getting another set of teeth later on. And that's it. I'm going to leave you guys, and I'm going to make you guys make sure that you brush tonight. Make sure you floss. So buy a tooth floss if you guys don't have a tooth floss already. Make sure you're brushing your teeth at night time as well as the morning after breakfast, and make sure to cut down on acidity and sugary foods. And that's it. So I hope you guys are all doing great. I hope you're all having a great time whatever you're doing, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye guys.